I'm fascinated all the times by people. That's great. Thank you for sharing that, Patricia. A little bit of lightheartedness on a fun Friday. Welcome, everyone. We're live. Welcome to our daily success call. John Lavinia here with you. A crazy day so far. A good day, productive. Lots of conversations going on. Lots of progress being made. Let me see who we've got here with us thus far. Who's on camera? There's Susan. There's Simon. There's Missy. Patricia's here, of course. I see Sean and Scott, Alec, Crystal. Good to see Catherine. There's the other Scott. And I don't see anybody else on camera. Look at that. I know Amber's here. I always get to see Amber's smile. So that's wonderful. Good to see you guys. All right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to have a fun little chat today, being that it's Fun Friday. Dogs, cats, anybody got any animals in your midst that you want to show off? I had my daughter in here before. She doesn't qualify as an animal. What you got there, Patricia?
Come here, Earl.
Oh, let's see that dog. It looks like she's got dog grooming devices or leashes.
Here we are.
That's a cat.
Oh, it's a cat. Hey, Patricia. Who's that?
Earl. Oh, where'd he go?
Hey, Earl. Make some noise.
Chipmunk. Earl weighs 26 pounds.
My goodness.
Yeah, he's my big baby.
Yeah, my Chihuahua weighs 10.
And my protector.
Oh yeah, I would say. Who's got the chipmunk?
I do.
Susan.
Show me chipmunk.
Oh, there he is. He's running in the wheels. He runs and hides. There he is.
That's great.
My daughter found him when he was just a little baby, and I don't know if he got hurt and he was too young to be away, and so I took him and I fed him and I made him grow, and now it's too cold to let him out, so we're waiting for spring.
Okay, very good.
Will he be able to go out and by himself and eat and everything? Will he know what to do?
I don't. Well, that's a good question. Maybe we'll take him on little outings from time to time. I mean, he burrows in his stuff, and I know he does hide his nuts under the wheel. He hides. He has a whole little stash over there.
How cute!
I'll come and visit.
That's great. Well, Susan, if it's any consolation, you know, one trip into a hamster cage or something isn't going to, eradicate thousands of years of biological, instinct. So yeah, it should be good. And are they cold weather animals, right? Isn't there like?
Yeah.
Well, they hibernate, or they have their little nesting, but it's under the ground. And so we just felt he was not strong enough back then to burrow. And now he's probably strong enough, but Georgia weather's crazy. I mean, I probably could have let him out a couple of times, but then all of a sudden the next day it was in the 30s.
Right.
So,
You saved his life.
There you go.
Yes.
You did. Proud.
Thank you. Well done, Susan. Scott Barker has goldfish.
I have monster goldfish. Yeah.
There you go.
Very nice. Very festive.
They come and they just sit there and just stare at me. Very unnerving.
Yeah, goldfish do that. Now, guys, I heard that goldfish will actually eat themselves to death. That they're gluttons. Is that correct? You got to be very careful with how much you feed them. Otherwise, they'll just explode.
I made a mistake 2 years ago when I got some silver perch, baby fingerlings, little ones, about 100 of them, because I was trying to
yummy.
grow them. But unfortunately, I put them with the goldfish, and I didn't realize. Eventually, the silver perch disappeared, and the goldfish got very fat. And eventually, I worked out what was happening, and never did it again.
Right. There you
they
go.
swallowed them. They chased them like sharks. It was amazing to see. Before you know it, my 100 silver perch just disappeared.
Wow. Well,
they'll eat their children. You have to separate them.
Really?
Right. So I guess we've got some topics in here. So this is heavy, highbrow philosophical stuff that we're talking about, right? But the idea that some creatures don't play well with others, right? So that's valid. And also the idea of, with the chipmunk, right? Here is something that people would consider a wild animal and yet behaves just like, a hamster, I'm guessing in this case, right? Or a guinea pig or, some sort of rodent, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do people change, I guess is what's coming up for me, right? Goldfish, their brain is the size of a head of a pin or something. A mammal, now we're talking about, more instinct or whatever. But when we get into the realm of humankind, look, we've got habits and but we've also got arguably consciousness, right? We've got the ability to think and make decisions and not just run on instinct. So what's coming up for me today as I'm hearing all this, two things. One is I've got a lot of ideas for print on demand e-commerce products. Did anybody just get some ideas? So we've got goldfish, we've got cats, we've got chipmunks, right? Where could we go with that? So that's one idea that's coming up for me is because like chipmunks are cute. I'm just fixated on chipmunks right now. They're cute little creatures, right?
Yes.
And I've had some dogs that have liked chipmunks. They thought they were delicious, but regardless of that, right? There's an affinity for that cartoony kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And how can we work that into now humans, people who have credit cards in their hand, paying you money for something that was inspired by the chipmunk or the goldfish or whatever. So these are themes or niches or just points of interest. Right now, we're just talking about animals, but they're ones that have infinite directions that you can go in, it seems. So for our new members here, and I'm not your creative authority. Okay, I'm not your guru on any of this. Okay, listen to Rachel, listen to other people on this. But where can you go in your life and not get ideas? I mean, just look around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. So what we're doing when we're doing our creative work is we're entering a conversation that is already going on in the mind of your ideal target audience. I like chipmunks. Okay, sell me chipmunk stuff. Okay. Or the goldfish thing or the cat, right? By the way, I'm not the steward of any of those animals right now. I've got 2 dogs and my daughter's got a hamster. By the way, you guys know where domesticated hamsters originated? I did not know this. I looked this up. And, if there's any truth on the internet, Syria, they're Syrian.
Really?
Yeah. So something good came out of Syria. There's that. We got hamsters. Reminds me of a joke. Since it's Fun Friday, reminds me of a joke. So somebody pick a city that's not your favorite. That's not your favorite city. So we're gonna do a derogatory joke here real quick. I'll give you one. I'm gonna offend somebody. No, all right. So let's make up. All right, I'm gonna tell the joke anyway. All right, the place that I was born in, New Jersey. Okay, so we're going to New Jersey, right? So Newark, New Jersey. What's the best thing that ever came out of Newark? A jumbo jet. There you go. There's the joke. Did anybody get it? No? Yes.
Yeah, you can get out of there.
Yeah, get me the hell out of here. It's the best thing that ever came out of New Jersey. All right. So back to the point. All right. So we've got creative inspiration that is all around us. And I say that as a person who doesn't consider myself as creative as other people. Constructive, yes. You give me the instruction manual. Here's how you put together the thing, right? I could put together the thing and it'll be perfect. Okay, because I'm very, attentive to details and all this. But somebody else engineered it. Somebody else designed it. Okay, so like back in the days when I was a diesel mechanic, back in the late '80s, and so I know how to work with things that are already designed and constructive. Right, I can be constructive in that way. But creative is a little bit different. We've talked about music and different things here before. Now we've just been talking about animals, but in the musical world, right? There's creative. There's like songwriters. Okay. And then there's people who can read music and do a recital, do a performance of what somebody else wrote. Two different approaches to music. Okay. And a lot of times they don't mix. A lot of times they do as well. Oh, I'm a singer songwriter. Okay, great. Aren't they the same thing? No, they're not the same thing. Right. I mentioned, I think, Elton John earlier this week, right? He doesn't write his own songs. He may have written one or two, I don't know, but here's the songwriters. Oh, Elton John could produce this. This would be a hit, right? So now moving on to, as it relates to print on demand, e-commerce and doing business. I think the songwriters, right, and those who identify as creative here or would like to get more creative are people who notice. They notice things in a way that other people might just pass by or take for granted. Okay. Now, obviously, a chipmunk is a bit, out of, an anomaly in terms of like a house pet or something. Okay. So would an alligator be? I'm in Florida, right? And people, not that I know of anyway, keep alligators as house pets. Not likely. I lived in Arizona for like 20 years. We didn't keep rattlesnakes as house pets, right? So we can look at unusual combinations of things and come up with creative ideas, and then see what works. One of the great things about the methods that are applied in this community is that it doesn't cost you like $500,000 or whatever to take a swing and see what the marketplace thinks, right? You can have experiments. What does it cost you to list something on Etsy? 20 cents, right? So take the swing. You miss every shot you don't take. Hold on, Patricia. Patricia, make some noise so I can see that dog. You got to unmute your microphone. Unmute Patricia, make some noise so we can see that dog.
Come with Moochie. One. Come with Moochie. Great.
Oh, look at that. Look at that cutie. What's his name?
Moochie. 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 Yeah.
Hi, Moochie. Welcome to the team, Moochie. Good to meet you. You got your little harness on and everything. That's great.
Yeah, it's little, so it needs to learn. She's little. Sorry, she's a little girl. So
it's a she. Very good.
Yes, it's a she. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you to your assistant as well, who delivered Moochie to us. Beautiful clock, by the way. Okay, good. So on one hand, we have the ability to follow instructions and be constructive. On the other hand, you deserve to be a bit creative as well. And the punchline is it's not going to cost you a lot to do that. I've noticed in my own life and in business things where it's been more, high risk and potentially high reward as well. Okay. But if I've been reticent or, risk averse, it's because of, well, what if this doesn't stick? Now, look, there's an infinite number of, in fact, I just got this question earlier today about the potential for market saturation, which I believe is a misnomer, but there's the potential to reach billions of people via the internet. Okay. Billions shop online and billions are made, right? Trading is happening all the time. And so to get into that flow and to have that accessible to you is a tremendous opportunity that didn't exist, even 20 years ago, right? Or I would say even 10 years ago. What was Amazon 10 years ago? Selling books, right? Were they into other stuff too? Were there opportunities for people to deliver their wares through that channel 10 years ago? How long's that been going? I'm not sure. My goodness, even in terms of like social media, I think we've got a rather mature crowd here today, right? So do we have any children with us right now? I remember when YouTube started in 2005. This is before Google bought it out. Okay. It's a couple of guys doing videos. YouTube, 2005. That's 21st century. Right. A lot of the stuff that I was trained in back in the 1900s, when the pterodactyls were flying around and we were making, wheels out of stone and all this, a lot of those methods have gone the way of the dodo. Okay. But here's the point, is that creativity, it hasn't changed, right? So just like that chipmunk has instincts and billions of years of evolution and whatever, right? It's not going to forget it because you gave him a cheese cracker or something. Okay. So just like that, people are still going to be people, regardless of the methods, regardless of the tech or lack thereof. Okay. So when we get down to the core of it, what is it that drives the success of your business? What is the real crux of it? What business are you really in? I've covered this with a few of you, like in our business launch sessions. It really is about transferring enthusiasm from one party to another, from you to the recipient, the potential recipient of whatever your product or whatever your offer is. Okay. They don't know it exists right now. So you need to go enlighten them, right? So you're enlightening people. And now they can be more enthusiastic. Now they know, well, my goodness, will sell me the stuff, right? I can't live without it. I didn't know 5 minutes ago, but now my $20, here's my $50, whatever it happens to be. This happens all day, every day. So the idea of so-called market saturation is a misnomer. I mean, if we look at how the internet has democratized the opportunity for you to do commerce, near and far, good luck. I mean, if you could saturate that, wow, you'd be a trillionaire. That'd be spectacular, right? And then you could be my mentor and we can have that conversation. But the idea that people are interested in all kinds of different stuff. I like the chipmunks. You don't like the chipmunks. Okay, fine. Now, tomorrow I might not like the chipmunks and I'm on to the goldfish. Great news. All of these billions of people are aging every day and they're interested in different stuff than they were when they were 5 years old. Great news, right? So it's impossible to saturate. And couple that with the fact that none of us are selling necessities or commodities. A commodity like here's an ounce of silver or a barrel of oil. What's it worth? Well, whatever the marketplace says it's worth. It's no different if I buy it from you or you or you. Okay, none of us are selling commodities here. We're selling subjective value products. Subjective, not objective. Subjective. Sure, it's an object. Here's the coffee cup or the T-shirt, but what's written on it? What conversation? What subjective? Based on opinions and proclivities and likings or dislikings, what conversation are we entering with that ideal target audience? Or that's falling on deaf ears because you missed the target. Again, you miss every shot you don't take. So you've got license to be creative here, right? When I started these sessions, and I said, look, Friday we're going to have jokes and dog shows and stuff. Right. That's flippant. That's off the cuff. Like, who cares? It's fun. It's fun. Right. Is it useful here? Yeah, I'd say keep it lighthearted. Right. We got enough seriousness in our lives. Okay. But it's not something where I had to, well, I'm going to risk, 5 minutes of everyone's time. And maybe, have somebody show their dog or something. Right. No, we need to be very, very serious 24 hours a day. Hell no. No. Right. So in that way, I exerted my creativity and said, Fridays shall be fun Fridays. We'll wear Hawaiian shirts and have dog shows and tell jokes and cover topics as well. Right. I'm here, sans the Hawaiian shirt today. I didn't get to it. But so that's the creative side of this. Okay. Which brings me to the other thing that came up for me as Susan was showing her chipmunk. By the way, I have a friend who has a hedgehog, significantly larger hedgehog in a big cage. A hedgehog. But the other idea is what we were talking about with instincts, okay, and human nature. And do people actually change? Do the goldfish change? No, they eat the other fish. They'll eat themselves to death. They're gluttons, right? That's what we know about goldfish. Now, I can't reason with the goldfish. I can't sell the goldfish. I can't persuade or influence the goldfish. Okay. But I can have a conversation with another, arguably conscious person, right? I get a chuckle out of Scott with that. About, here's a way to get what you want. Here's a way to advance. Here's a way to have the ideal coffee cup, because the ones that are filling your cabinets right now clearly are not sufficient. And so you need this one, right? We have a way to communicate in a way that, the instinctful, goldfish or chipmunk or whatever, they can't reason with you. So back to the idea of being constructive. All right. So we've got creative. Here's constructive. Okay. What's important to you? Ask yourself this. What's important to you when you go and you make a buying decision, when you purchase something? Could be a coffee cup, could be, a new mattress, a TV set. I just got a TV set. I had one before, but we upgraded, you see. And I looked at the specifications and in comparison to all these different ones. And I said, you know what, value for money. I don't spend a lot of time in front of it, but you know what, we got this nice big wall. I had this, kind of a smaller thing. Let's get the thing and let's fill it. I mean, now that we bought the house, we might as well decorate it properly. Give me the big friggin' TV. And so, I did my own assessment on that, and I decided that, this is what I was willing to spend for this product, which I'll use on weekends and whatever. And my daughter likes it. So how did I make that buying decision? Well, on one hand, I looked at specifications, features, quantities, right? Here's data, here's hard data. On the other hand, was it not also subjective, right? Here I am receiving all that data. What are my thoughts? And probably definitely more importantly, what do I feel about that? I feel like it would be the ownership and the experience of that would really complete the room. See, that's very pleasing. That's gratifying for me. So I made a buying decision based on my expectation of gratification for the benefits of that product, as enumerated on the spec sheet. But it was something that I, like I said before, I didn't know. I didn't know those features existed until I read and I got the communication, I got the sales pitch, right? And then I made a buying decision based on how that made me feel. Like, yes, I want that. So as logical or as cold and calculated as it may seem to buy something off of a spec sheet, it's still something that I had to emotionally come to a conclusion that TV set was worth more to me than this money in my hands. Okay. So here's the $1,200 or whatever. Right. And so here you take this nasty $1,200, sell me that device. Okay. That is the weighing of value that goes on in the mind of every customer, regardless of what the product. I don't think anybody here is selling TV sets, right? So again, advantage to you. Is it a bigger or smaller decision on the part of the customer to buy your coffee cup in comparison to the $1,200 TV set, or the $50,000 business deal or investment, right? Or the compared to all the other things that people are buying all day long online. Yes, online, right? You've got easy decisions that you're offering people to make. So now on the constructive side, so you were creative, okay? You created a product, that's nice. On the constructive side, you get it sold. How do you do that? By communicating that value thoroughly to the point where it causes that person to say, you know what? I didn't know that existed 5 seconds ago. Here's my credit card. Transformation. Or in the sales world, what we call conversion. We went from public, Mr. and Mrs. Public, to buyer. That's a conversion. Okay. By the way, the conversation doesn't stop there. These people know other people too, right? Here comes hey, great news, refer your friends and they get, $5 off or something, right? And you guys have seen, this is all part of your training, all part of your evolution, right? We keep that train moving. Okay, come back and buy more, discount off your next order, refer a friend, blah, 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 right? Keep that train moving. The initial sale, the initial conversion from public or traffic lead, whatever, into, customer initial transaction, that's the hardest one to make. And then from there, now they're known. Now you're known. Now you're known. You're not a stranger. You're the purveyor of the cups, the t-shirts, the pillowcases. Oh, now I know where I get my pillowcases. Can't have too many of those, right? Which again is terribly subjective. All right. I mean, any pillowcase will do, but this one, right? So these are all of this from Susan's chipmunk. That's all I needed to do was hear Susan has a chipmunk, and then you just got a 40, however long we've been talking, half hour dissertation on sales and marketing out of one chipmunk. So you see, it is relevant. Scott, Kelly, what do you think, brother?
Hi, good day, everybody. Yeah. Glad to be here. I think, it wasn't so much the chipmunks that enthused me. I really don't see myself how I would even go about that, but you're so right about, that when you're an expert at something, it really helps. So if you're an expert at that chipmunk and knowing everything about that chipmunk, well, you're going to have more to offer someone that wants to know about that chipmunk. And so I used to sell TVs. So that's where I got your enthusiasm on.
Oh, okay.
I used to sell TVs at one time. People would ask me, and the way I sold them was they would ask me what I liked, what I thought was what, in my opinion, because I had the expertise of all the different brands and this and that. I worked on them. I fixed them. I knew which ones I liked the best. And I said, well, one, what's your budget is the first thing, because I got different extremes on which one is best maybe for your budget. Do you have a little bit of money? Well, I can help you out with that. Just choose the right one. What's your budget? So it's a question, but this interaction would always come to the expertise of what I would think it is, or what it's about, or what they should do. And even in the repair business, when I would repair something, I would go, I don't know if I would fix this or put my money into this, but this is what it would cost. You decide whether you want to spend that money on that or not. Surprisingly enough, some people would challenge me and say, let's do it. And that's when I got, oh gosh, I really didn't want, maybe I should have asked for more to do that repair, because that really wasn't what I wanted them to go at. But since they challenged me to it, and here again, I'm going to go with your integrity, John. I'll do what I said I will do, and I did it, and I got it done. Did it take me a little longer than I wanted? Yes, but I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish, and makes me more of that expertise now of knowing that I should actually have charged more.
Right.
But so I'm just going to leave it at that. That's what my deal was with selling. But I think the personal thing when it comes to what we do and our t-shirts. So I'm just going to pick on our t-shirts alone and how our description is of our t-shirts on what we sell. Look at this, guys. I looked at it and I went, man, that's not a very good explanation about what it is and that I would like them to purchase. And so I'm looking at the t-shirt description and going, well, where's my influence of what's going to make it different in this description to get the buyer to go, oh, I like what he's saying, and I'm trusting him, and I want to see what else he's about, or I'm going to take a chance on him, or so I think a lot of this has to do with more than the product, like you're saying. It has to do with everything of our uniqueness and what we have to offer, and what we think on our own expertise. And I'm not an expert on t-shirts yet, but boy, oh golly, gee whiz, I sure am learning a lot more about coffee cups, and even how our coffee cups are made, and how they are the best coffee cups. And people challenge me even right now today. Well, I don't want to spend that much on that coffee cup. And I go, well, it's the best coffee cup in the world. This coffee cup is unique. It's unlike any other coffee. It's not like your Walmart, Kmart.
Oh, right.
So there you go.
Wow. Thank you, Scott. So knowing your product, right? I mean, that's part of it too. So, because they can't know if you don't know, right? Yeah. I can't transfer knowingness or enthusiasm to somebody if I'm living in ignorance. Ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance sucks, right? So let me enlighten myself, and now I can enlighten you. Thanks, Scott. And let's go to the other Scott, and then we're going to go to Alec. Hey, Scott.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. A few things that kind of sort of came up from what you were saying. I think creativity, I think in many ways, it's like a lot of other mental processes. I think it can be exercised and it can be made stronger and better, in the sense that if you do a lot of reading of sci-fi and fantasy, that will affect the way you think and the way you form ideas and the way you use language, because you will use concepts that you wouldn't normally use. That will enhance your ability to articulate complex ideas of that nature. And I think creativity is like a muscle. Little by little, you can get stronger and stronger. And as you like push-ups, you do more push-ups, eventually you can do a lot of things you couldn't do before, just from doing the simple push-ups. And I think creativity is like that. It's a muscle. It's a muscle you can use and you can develop. I think that's true of everyone. And also, too, I think if you look at, this is totally different again, if you look at the way the human mind has developed over the millions of years, feelings anthropologically are far more fundamental and primal to humans than is logical thought. In the sense that, if you find someone that you resonate with at a deep level and you fall in love, no logic is going to get you out of that relationship. It's you're gonna be there come hell or high water. Some people would say that's the advantage of arranged marriages, but that's another story entirely. But I think what we do in terms of our product, or any product, doesn't matter what it is. I think if we can create feelings in the people that see this product that resonate with them very deeply and very powerfully, then they will want to get those feelings again. And they will get those feelings again every time they look at that product on their shelf or every time they use it. For example, I'm obsessed with a type of kitchenware called Fire King. I'm not sure, you may have heard of it. Fire King. It's like a beautiful pearl-colored cups and saucers and so forth. Now, what happens with that is that when the light comes through it, it sort of explodes with a beautiful, radiant pearl-like orange. And it's very beautiful. And I'm upset. And a lot of people think they're silly and old-fashioned, but to me, that resonates with me because I remember a time when I saw my grandma, when she was still alive, have a table set with all of these beautiful Fire King table set, basically. And the sunlight was coming through in the afternoon, and the whole table just exploded with this beautiful orange pearl-like radiance. And the whole feeling, the whole mood of that time comes back to me every time I see that cup or every time I see those little plates. So that's why I can't get enough of them. I collect them any chance I get. And I know they're a bit of a collector's item as well. But no logic is going to get me out of that obsession. Right. And every time I use it, I just feel something. And you can't change that. And you don't want to change it. So if I can have that experience again every time I use it, I'll go for it. And I think if you can do something, create something that resonates with a very deep feeling in someone, they're going to want it no matter what. And that's why a lot of people say price is not the issue. And it's really not. If you resonate at a deep level and they can't get it anywhere else because no one else has created that, then you're in the money and they're happy. I mean, you're finding a need, a very powerful need that resonates from them individually, and you're filling it. And it's a win-win right down the line, I think.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Look, even if we're talking about buying a gift for someone else, right? So there's what, an emotional, not a logical thing in terms of, spec sheets or whatever, but, here's the dear mom, gift or something. There is a way to reassure, right, and to communicate value to that buyer of the gift for the other person. Right. And it may have to do with something nostalgic. Now, look, we don't have crystal balls here. And I didn't know that Scott was into the Fire King. I'd have to Google it or, figure out what that I don't know what that is. OK, but he knows what that is. Right. And he's not the only guy in the world, because you just said they're collector's pieces. So people are into this kind of stuff. Not that you need to chase fads or trends. OK, but what you do need to do is connect with the why of the customer. Again, it's not just a coffee cup. It's not a commodity. Look, I got this, I think I mentioned I got a t-shirt recently, and it had a design on it, which is pleasing to me. But behind all that was, here are the purveyors of this. We are, it was a patriotic, like veteran and military run t-shirt company, and they're making, stuff for Americans and all this, and part of the proceeds go to support this or that, the wounded guys or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, sign me up, man. Sign me up for all that. So I didn't just buy a t-shirt. I didn't just buy an overpriced t-shirt. I didn't even know what the price was. $30 or something. Okay, fine. Right. I pay that every time I walk into a Harley dealer. $30 for a t-shirt that says Harley Davidson on it. I got so many of them now. I'm like, my goodness. But but there's a story behind that. Facts tell, stories sell, right? What's it really worth to you? Very subjective. Thank you, Scott. And Scott, let's go to Alec, and then we're going to probably wrap up. We're already past a half hour. Hey, Alec, what's your story, buddy?
How are you doing, sir? Well, I like how you were talking about how we're not selling products. So you were starting to compare, like, okay, well, what's gonna kind of differentiate, like, you wanting to buy this mug as opposed to this TV. And I'm not sure if I really did understand all of that right, but you see, it's like when you were talking about selling memories. That's how I always like to phrase it. And it's who's to say that coffee mug won't give you a final decision on whether you do want to buy that TV or not. It's just a way of maybe putting some clarity in people's head. And even whenever you're how you were saying, oh, well, that means that much to me. Okay. Well, that does mean that much to you, but let's just say that was given to you as a gift. Sure, most people will be very excited about getting a gift, but how excited is the person also going to be that's giving you the gift?
That's right.
So it's you figure for a coffee mug, I like to think of it as a personal investment. It's like, hey, well, that's gonna make me feel better about just going to work, or sometimes having a cup of coffee. It's just gonna go ahead, and for that moment, even if it's just for a moment, it's gonna give me that sense of enjoyment, I guess, that can very well determine how you decide to go about making certain decisions.
Right. I think what you're talking about, Alec, is gratification. So we're all seeking gratification. Back to the chipmunk, right? So in fact, do you guys know why mice are used in laboratory experiments? Mice have a pleasure drive and pain avoidance, just like people. So they want the cheese and they want to avoid the cat, right? So basically, one represents pleasure, food, right? The other is pain, cat. Right. So it's kind of binary. But when you think about what people are after, we want gratification, advancement, increase. Right. We want to avoid pain, loss, suffering. OK, so rather binary. So how can you communicate gratification to the person who's about to buy a gift for mom? Right. How can you communicate that in such a way where they're gratified having bought that? Look, when I'm making a buying decision for something that I'm not even going to possess, I'm going to give it to somebody else as a gift, right? I want to know that I want to know that I'm making the best choice, because that's a done for me. Now, this may not be everybody, but if it's on my to-do list, it's acquiring some of my attention, right? But when it's off my to-do list and it's a done, that frees my attention and time for other things, right? So I want to buy once, buy right. So like what Scott was saying before, Scott Kelly, right? Here's the best coffee cup, right? It's not just any. You can go to Walmart and buy junk or whatever. I don't know. I haven't, spent time in Walmart looking at coffee cups. probably ever.
There's a difference.
Right. Okay. So then the idea here is that you are reassuring me, Alec, that I'm making a good buying decision, even for something that I'm not, personally going to use per se. I am going to be gratified because I am going to confidently have the item that I needed, for the gift. Anyway, guys, this is, thank you again, Alec. This is a big topic, and it's one that I would suggest, and we'll go to Deborah here for final words, because Deborah's always got something awesome to say. Hey, Deborah. But this is a big topic, and it's one that
awesome. It's not awesome.
Oh, you're awesome. Come on.
No, thank you, John. I love you. Okay. It's the end. When we look at what this procedure program we're doing, we're actually, everybody here has a vessel and it has a handle, and we can't get past that. And what we're wanting people to buy or come to is what's on the vessel and what it's saying that they can relate to. And that's how you will relate to the public that's coming out there. If I go to Walmart, if I go to Marshall's, TJ Maxx, they all have vessels there, but it's only be maybe one that will speak to me. And that's our job, finding what to put on that vessel that will speak to the person that's coming by. It could be a vase, it could be a t-shirt, whatever, but you relate to what's on that. And I think Scott and Alec, everybody said, and the two Scotts and all of them said the same thing, but I am more in tune to what I'm going to put on the vessel that will attract the public to want to buy that item than I am about the vessel, because everybody has a white mug or white mug with the interior. So it's just, what else? That's all I'm going to say about that.
Thank you for that. Well, as Scott was saying before, it's like the creative muscle that you can build. I remember hearing from it was Jerry Seinfeld, who said he never breaks the chain. Every day he writes jokes, and so that's part of the chain every day. And a lot of the jokes are crap, but he keeps writing them. Right. So that's building that muscle. In his case, he was selling comedy, right? He's selling, jokes. Good stuff, you guys. Wow. Great conversation today. Great way to end the week. Kind of lighthearted, but also pretty insightful. So go build those muscles. Right. And, and look, we'll be back here with y'all next week. Really excited about some of the developments that are going on in this group with the individuals in this group. So, good stuff, you guys. Wow. Well, I'm getting that was interesting. Hey, Faith. Sounds like Faith was on the YouTube and at the same time on I don't know how that happened. Anyway, we'll see you guys again real soon. Make it a great day.